The candlelight between us flickered against the rim of her wine glass. Jenna smiled across the table, her lipstick perfect, like always. You know, you're not pretty enough to pull that off. Her voice was smooth, almost playful, the way someone might tease about ordering dessert. I tilted my head. Pull what off? The neckline. That dress. She sipped her wine. I mean, you're elegant, obviously, but sexy. It's just not your lane. I blinked, slow and silent. Then I smiled. Well, lucky for me I wasn't aiming for traffic. She laughed light, amused, untouched. God, I missed you. I picked up my water, cold condensation slick in my hand. She leaned forward. Don't be mad. I'm just honest with you. Always have been. I nodded. Once. Excuse me. I need the restroom. I stood calmly, heels clicking soft against the polished floor, and crossed the dining room. It was still early. Tables full of low chatter, candlelight, silverware. The mirror above the sink caught me before I reached it. I didn't see myself. I saw her, sitting with her wine like it was a crown, measuring my worth one comment at a time. I locked the door, turned the water on. The sound helped. We used to get ready in dorm rooms with curling irons balanced on textbooks. She always said I had the resume face. Polished, smart, not magnetic. You're the one they promote, not the one they remember, she once said. Back then, I thought it was insight. Now, it landed different. The bathroom door opened behind me. I saw her in the mirror before I heard her steps. Don't be dramatic, Jenna said. I looked at her reflection. You followed me. You're acting like I insulted your soul. You didn't. Just my face. I dried my hands. It'll recover. She leaned against the counter. You always do this. You twist things until you're the wounded one. I didn't twist anything. You said what you said. It was a joke, Ella. Jesus. No, it wasn't. She blinked. You're projecting. I smiled faintly. Interesting word. She crossed her arms. So I can't say anything to you anymore. You can say whatever you want. That's always been the arrangement, right? Her jaw tensed. I stepped toward the mirror. Again, adjusting my earring. Tell me something, Jenna. Have I ever said anything like that to you? You think you're better than me now. She snapped. Because you left the firm. Started doing your little reinvention thing. I think I'm learning to listen better. That's all. To what? To tone? Motive? Pattern? Oh my God. She laughed, but there was no breath in it. You've been going to therapy. I have. That's cute. I turned to her, fully now. You didn't like the dress from the moment I walked in. But you waited until the waiter left. Until I'd had 2 sips of wine. Until the conversation felt safe. Then you said it like a friend. Like it was helpful. Her mouth opened, then closed. I'm not angry. I said, that's not what this is. Then what is it? It's clarity. She scoffed. You think one comment undoes 15 years of friendship. No, I said softly. 15 years of comments did that. This one just happened to land on a day I was paying attention. Double quote silence. She looked at me. You're not perfect either, you know. I never said I was. You used to call me to cry about your marriage. I always picked up. I always showed up. You did. I nodded. And I'm grateful. But showing up doesn't mean you get to shape me. I never. You did. I said, gently. And maybe I let you. Jenna's shoulders dropped. For a moment, she looked smaller. I just don't want to lose you. You don't like me unless I feel smaller than you. That's not friendship. That's imbalance. She stared at me. So what now? I looked at her, really looked. Glossy hair, designer heels, flawless posture, and beneath it, the trembling. We go back to the table, I said. We finish dinner, politely, and then I see how I feel. Her throat moved. She looked away. I don't hate you, I added, but I don't owe you closeness just because we have history. You're serious. I am. We stood in silence for another beat. She finally straightened. Fine. I reached for the door. She followed me back into the candlelight. At the table, she smiled at the waiter like nothing happened. Order dessert. I didn't. I watched her spoon chocolate into her perfect mouth, laughing too loudly at a joke she didn't need to tell. And somewhere behind my stillness, the glass lake cracked. I didn't sleep. I lay in the dark, eyes open, listening to the ceiling fan cut the silence. My phone buzzed. 1:13 a.m. Jenna. You okay? Didn't mean to upset you. Just being real, like always. I stared at it, then typed, we should talk. Jenna. Now. 5 minutes later, my buzzer rang. She walked in wearing joggers and an oversized sweater. Still flawless. Couldn't wait until morning? She asked. Couldn't sleep. Okay. She looked around. You want tea or something? No. Sit. She dropped onto the couch. Look, if this is about dinner, it is. She gave a soft, exasperated laugh. Seriously, I already said I was joking. I know you weren't. She squinted at me. What's happening here? I've been thinking about everything. About us. Oh, God. She rolled her eyes. Don't make this dramatic. I'm not. You're acting like I slapped you in public. I sat across from her. It's not about one comment. Jenna. Then what? It's all the ones before it. Every just being honest moment you've ever had. She shifted. You always liked that I was blunt. No. I tolerated it. Because you wrapped it in loyalty. Her jaw twitched. So, now I'm a villain. I didn't say that. She leaned back. What exactly are you accusing me of, Ella? Let me ask you something. I folded my hands. Why did you say I'm not pretty enough? I told you. No. Why, really? She went quiet. Because it wasn't about the dress, I said. Or the neckline. Her lips parted. But no sound came. You've been doing this for years, I continued, undermining, framing it as advice. She stood. I don't need this. Sit down. Her head snapped toward me. I'm not finished. She stared, then slowly sat. I got a job offer once, I said. In Chicago, remember? She looked away. You told me I'd hate the weather. That I wasn't edgy enough for the agency's culture. You asked my opinion. No. I asked if I should go. You answered by shrinking me. She shook her head. That's not fair. And when I told you Sam and I were trying for a baby, you said, you sure you're maternal enough for that? I was joking. You always are, aren't you? She crossed her arms. I didn't realize you were keeping a ledger. I wasn't. I just finally opened it. She stood again, pacing now. You've changed. You're distant. I've been reflecting. She scoffed. Because of therapy? Yes. She turned sharply. You think I'm toxic? I think you've built a dynamic where I'm always the one doubting myself. Her voice rose. You're the one who calls me when you fall apart, because you always made sure I believed no one else would understand. That's not true, isn't it? She faltered. You said I wasn't sexy, I said. But I've seen you say worse to yourself in the mirror. Maybe you were just trying to pass the shame along. Her face twisted. You're being cruel. I'm being honest. I supported you through your divorce. You also told me no one leaves a marriage unless they're sure they can do better. I was trying to protect you. No. You were projecting your fear onto my freedom. She stopped moving. I've loved you like a sister, I said, voice steady. But I'm done trying to earn your kindness. Silence. Finally, she spoke, low. I don't know who I am without you. I think that's the problem. Her eyes shimmered, then cleared. So what, this is goodbye? No. It's accountability. She stepped toward me. I didn't mean to hurt you. I believe you. But you did anyway. She wiped at her eye. What do you want from me? Nothing. I stood. Just space. For how long? I don't know yet. She nodded. Once. Then walked. To the door, her hand paused on the knob. I meant it. You know. You are elegant. I know. She left. I locked the door behind her, and this time, I slept. Asterisk, asterisk, asterisk. The photo was buried in an old Dropbox folder labeled LA Weekend. I clicked it by accident, meaning to delete the clutter. But there it was, me, in that rust-colored dress, standing against the hotel balcony at golden hour. My hair caught, in motion, my eyes unguarded, whole. I remembered the exact moment. Jenna had laughed behind the camera, told me to look away like I didn't know she was there. I had, and she'd whispered, God, you're glowing. And an hour later, she told me not to post it. It looks too filtered, she'd said. It's a bit curated. I'd nodded, trusting her judgment, the way I always did. Now I stared at it and felt heat rise up my neck. I texted her, me. Do you remember the balcony photo you took of me in LA? Jenna. Yeah. Why? Me. You told me not to post it. Said it looked too filtered. Jenna. It did. You looked almost airbrushed. Why are we talking about this? Me. Because I just saw it again. And I looked real. Jenna. Okay. You're really spiraling lately. It was just a suggestion. Ella, me. No. It was control. She didn't reply. I called her. Hello. She answered. Tight? I need to ask you something, and I want the truth. Ella. Seriously, did you not want me to post that picture? Because of how I looked in it. She was quiet. Jenna. It wasn't about you, she said finally. It was about the vibe. You were going through so much with Sam. Did you really want to present like everything was perfect? You mean, did I want to look like I hadn't been broken yet? Her silence stung sharper than a yes. I liked that version of me, I said. In that photo. And you made me doubt her. I didn't make you do anything. You made me believe you were the mirror. She exhaled. Why are you picking at all this now? Because I'm realizing how many versions of myself I gave up for your comfort. That's dramatic. No. What's dramatic is micromanaging your best friend's self-worth for 15 years. Oh my God, she muttered. So now I'm the villain again. I'm not interested in villains and victims anymore, I said. I'm interested in patterns. You're rewriting history. No. I'm finally reading it clearly. You were fragile then, she said, voice softening. I was trying to protect you. From what? Feeling confident for 5 minutes. I didn't mean it like that. You never do. You're being cruel, she whispered. No, I'm being clear. She didn't speak. I looked happy in that photo, I said, even with everything going on. And that scared you. That's not true. It is. Because if I could glow in my chaos, what did that say about the order you build your life on? Stop. I won't. She inhaled hard. You're projecting again. No, I'm remembering. And I don't need your permission to like myself anymore. Then why did you call me? Because I needed to say it out loud. She waited. I'm posting it, I said. That photo? Yes. Why now? Because it's mine. And I want people to see me the way I used to see myself before I let you edit the frame. I didn't mean to dim you. But you did. She sighed. Do what you want. I will. I hung up. Then I opened the photo, added a caption. August. A moment I almost erased. And I hit post. No filter. No permission. Just light. The studio smelled like polished wood and fresh coffee. Long mirrors lined the walls, silent and exacting. I walked in quietly, unnoticed, just another woman in a black tank and neutral heels. First time, a voice asked behind me. I turned. A woman in mauve leggings and a soft ponytail smiled. I'm Camila. Ella, I said. Yeah. First time. Don't worry, she grinned. Everyone feels like a giraffe the first hour. A man entered from the far door, broad-shouldered, measured steps, eyes that scanned but didn't judge. Phones off, heels on, he said. If you're here to be admired, leave. If you're here to learn control, stay. That was Eli Navarro. Every inch of him was posture. We formed a loose line. Eli walked past each of us without pausing, like he was listening for something quieter than words. Camila, he nodded. Back again. Couldn't stay away, she smiled. His eyes landed on me. You're late. I was early. I just didn't announce myself. He tilted his head. Interesting answer. Name? Ella? Ella what? Ella Grant. Step forward. I did. Walk to the end of the room. Slowly, I moved. My steps even. Deliberate. I didn't rush. Stop, he said. Now turn. Walk back. Look ahead, not down. I returned. When I reached him, he didn't speak, just held my gaze. What do you do, Ella Grant? I used to work in marketing, and now I'm studying presence. A small flicker at the corner of his mouth. Presence can't be studied. It has to be remembered. Then that's what I'm doing. HMM. He stepped back. Join the line. Camila whispered. That was bold. Was it wrong? No. Just rare. He moved to the center. You are not here to be sexy. You are here to be sovereign. There is a difference. Anyone can seduce. Few can command. He pointed. Camila. Walk. She moved fluid, poised. Better, he said. Less bounce. Another woman walked. Another correction. Then me again. Ella. Breathe through your ribs, not your chest. Shoulders down. Chin like you've already won. I adjusted. Walked. Good, he murmured. Still too polite. You're not asking permission anymore. Remember that. After class, I sat by the mirror, unlacing my shoes. Camila sat beside me. You weren't here to play around, she said. Neither were you. True. She paused. Why now? What do you mean? This presence remembering thing. I needed to remind myself I exist in space, not just in reaction. She smiled. That's poetic. It's practical. Eli approached. You learn quickly. I listen. He studied me. Who told you you couldn't? My best friend. Still your friend. I haven't decided. He nodded. Let your body decide first. It knows the answer. I stood. Thanks. He walked off. Camila glanced at me. He's intense. He's precise. We left together. Outside, the air was sharp with the scent of eucalyptus. My heels clicked softly on the pavement. Coming back tomorrow? She asked, double quotes, yes. For the walking? For the remembering. She nodded. Good. And I meant it when I said it again. Yes. Asterisk asterisk. I opened the old leather journal like it was a crime scene. January 18th. Jenna said maybe I should wait to pitch the campaign. She thinks the CEO might not take it well. From someone to polished. Still, her instincts are usually right. March 3. Jenna warned me not to wear the white dress to the launch party. Said it might read as trying too hard. I changed last minute. She said I looked more relatable. Page after page, her voice threaded through mine. I called her. Hey. She answered. Casual. You okay? Yeah. Just wanted to ask you something. Shoot. Do you remember when I was offered that speaking slot at the Women in Media Summit? Vaguely. You said it might be too early for me. That I should wait until I'd earned a few more scars. She laughed. Wow, that sounds poetic. You don't remember. I remember the event. I remember you being nervous. I wasn't. Not until you told me to be. A pause. Is something going on? I'm just tracing a pattern. What kind of pattern? The kind where your support sounds a lot like sabotage. Ella. No. Listen. I flipped to another page. You told me not to dye my hair lighter. Said it would look desperate post-divorce. You said not to wear heels on the first date with Evan because men like feeling taller. You said not to post my certification because it might look like I'm trying to prove something. I was looking out for you. No, Jenna. You were editing me. She exhaled. Where's this coming from? From rereading the version of myself you helped write. Oh, come on. Did you know I stopped journaling last year? I said. You once told me it was self-indulgent. That writing things down made pain linger. I said that once. In passing. I never picked the notebook up again. Silence. Maybe. You don't realize how often you dimmed the light, I said. And maybe you don't realize how often you needed me to hold the switch. That landed like a slap. You leaned on me for everything, she continued. Your job, your marriage, your self-worth. And now that you're evolving, I'm the anchor? You're the weight I didn't notice until I stood up straight. Wow. I kept going. Do you remember when I told you I was thinking of running my own workshop? Sure. You said, that's cute, but who would come to that? I was joking. Every dagger wrapped in a smile. I don't know what you want from me, Ella. I want to know why. Why what? Why you always kept me just underconfident. Just shy of enough. She paused. You don't think maybe you were comfortable there? I blinked. You're blaming me for being manageable. I'm saying maybe it worked for both of us. Until it didn't. Worked how? You got someone to lean on. I got to feel needed. It wasn't sinister. It was controlling. I didn't tie you down. You never had to. You just moved the finish line every time I got close. Her voice softened. I never wanted you to feel small. But I did. Repeatedly. She sighed. So what now? I'm taking inventory. That's all. Inventory for what? For who I am without your edits. She was quiet. Then, that version won't need me. I don't think she ever did. You're really doing this. I already have. Another silence. Then, quietly, I don't know how to be anything else. That's not my job to fix. She hung up. I closed the journal this time. I didn't apologize for the page I was writing. Asterisk asterisk. The studio was empty except for the two of us. The floor had been swept. The lights were low. No mirrors this time. Just space. Eli stood at the end of the runway line, arms crossed. Shoes? I nodded. 4-inch neutral block. He gestured. Walk. I did, each step pressed into silence. He didn't speak. I kept my gaze steady, chin aligned, shoulders low. My ribs expanded softly with breath. I stopped when I reached him. Again, I turned and walked back. He followed, hands behind his back. Better. Still too much glide. Own the floor. Don't seduce it. I nodded, double quotes again. I walked. This time I drove through the heel. Let the toe whisper after. He stopped me with a hand. What do you feel? Stillness. He nodded. Good. I used to rush. I said. Everything. Words. Steps. Decisions. And now, I wait for the ground to speak back. He almost smiled. Power lives in pace. I walked again. He didn't interrupt. When I reached the end, he said, Take off the shoes. I obeyed. Barefoot now. Same walk. My steps changed. Softer, quieter. He stepped beside me. You noticed the difference? Yes. Shoes are illusion. Feet are truth. I kept walking. He walked next to me. You don't think about Jenna when you're walking, do you? No. Why not? She's not in this room. He stopped. Exactly. I turned to him. She only exists where you shrink, he said. This, he gestured at the space, is where you expand. I breathed. He circled. You're not here for fashion. No. You're here to reclaim space. Yes. He faced me. Then walk like you've arrived to collect something that was always yours. I walked again. This time I didn't hear my steps. I felt them. When I returned, he was still. That, he said. I met his eyes. You're not going to clap. Would applause change anything? No. Exactly. He turned. Get your shoes. Run it again. Full runway. Don't stop until I tell you. I slipped them on. 3 beats in. Deep breath. Walk. I did the first pass. I found rhythm. The second, I found stillness. The third, I found weight. He spoke only once more. That last turn, keep it. That's your pivot. I walked again. He didn't need to say anything else. Later, I sat on the edge of the stage, feet bare again, sweat cooling on my spine. Eli leaned against the far wall. You hungry? A little. There's a Korean place around the corner. Ugly lighting. Perfect kimchi. I smiled. You inviting me or testing my stamina? Both. I stood. I'll take it. We walked out into the cooling dusk. Not side by side, but in rhythm. I didn't feel like a woman learning to walk. I felt like a woman who had just stopped asking for room. Asterisk asterisk. The envelope was thick, matte black, sealed in gold. My name printed in serif. Inside, an invitation. Femme form. A runway showcase featuring new voices in movement. And power. They'd selected me. Just one walk. But real. IRSVPD yes. Then I requested 1 VIP guest pass. No +1. One name. Jenna. Park. The assistant on the phone asked. Should we include a note? No. I slipped the card into a plain envelope and wrote her address in my own handwriting. Dropped it at the post office that afternoon. No return label. 3 days passed. No message. On the 4th, my phone buzzed. Jenna, did you send me an invitation? I waited before responding. Me. Yes, she called immediately. I let it ring, then again. Then a text. Jenna, what is this? A joke? I typed slowly. Me. It's real. I'll be walking. You're invited. She didn't answer. 3 hours later. Jenna, why me? I stared at the screen, then turned it face down. The next evening, she showed up outside the studio. I stepped out into the fading light, towel over my shoulder. You could have just told me, she said. I did. No, Ella. You sent an embossed summons like I'm some spectator in your little show. You are. Her eyes narrowed. I've supported you for years. Have you? She crossed her arms. You're really doing this? Yes. You think walking in some warehouse with lights makes you powerful? No, I said. I think not needing your approval does. She laughed. So this is revenge? No. This is reclamation. Jenna stepped closer. You really believe you belong up there? I no longer require belief. I've trained. You sent me that card to provoke me. I sent it so you'd see me. I've always seen you. You've always seen around me. Double quote silence. She looked me up and down. So you're going to parade yourself in front of strangers, and I'm supposed to clap. I didn't ask for applause. Then what do you want from me? Nothing, I said. I just stopped hiding. She blinked. You'll sit in the front row, I said. Or you won't come. Either way, I walk. Her voice faltered. You were never meant to outgrow me. That's the part that stings, isn't it? She turned to go. Jenna, I called. She paused. Where? Something neutral. It's not your spotlight. She didn't respond. She didn't have to. I'd already heard everything I needed. Asterisk. The backstage room buzzed with energy, heels clacking, fabric rustling, laughter masking nerves. I stood near the curtain, spine straight, breath low in my ribs. Camila appeared at my side. You okay? I'm steady. She nodded, then took my hand. You've got this. Thank you. She smiled. That dress is unforgiving. It's honest. Good. Eli passed behind us. Silent. He touched my shoulder briefly, approval, not reassurance, and kept moving. The music started. Low, resonant. The kind of beat that doesn't rush you. A producer whispered, to out. Then you? Camila walked first. Her movements were fluid, grounded. She vanished behind the light. One out. The voice said. My heartbeat didn't spike. I closed my eyes for 2 seconds. Found the floor. The weight of me. Go. I stepped through the curtain. Light hit me. Warm. Wide. I walked, no smile. No performance. Just presence. Heels confident. Not apologizing. 3rd row. Far right. Camila. Watching. Radiant. Front row. Center left. Jenna. Her mouth parted slightly, not smiling. Her eyes sharp but unreadable. Her body still. I didn't hold her gaze. I released it after half a second. Not rejection, just disinterest. This wasn't about her. At the end of the runway, I pivoted. Sharp, smooth, and walked back. No one clapped. Not yet. The silence stretched to clean, charged pause. At the curtain, I stepped aside. My pulse even. Camila grabbed my arm. Jesus, you were. I know. You didn't blink. I didn't need to. We stood together, watching the others finish. A round of applause finally rose when the final model exited. We joined the lineup for the closing walk. Jenna was still in her seat, hands folded. We walked past once more, slow and composed. She didn't move. Backstage, the applause faded behind us. The Camila turned to me. She came. She did. Are you okay? Yes. Want to say anything to her? No. You sure? I've already said everything. Tonight, I just showed it. Camila grinned. Damn right you did. I exhaled. The show was over, but I was just arriving. The studio after party was winding down when my phone buzzed. Jenna, you looked amazing tonight. I stared at the message. Camila leaned over my shoulder. That her? Yes. She came all the way just to text that. I locked the screen. Apparently. You going to reply? No. She studied me. Not even a period. No. Outside, the night was soft with city hush. I stood at the curb, shoes in hand, dress loose against my skin. Camila walked with me to the rideshare line. She'll probably try again. I'm sure. You want me to say something if she does. I don't need a translator. She nodded. You okay? I'm quiet. That sounds like peace. It is. The car pulled up. I opened the door. Camila touched my arm. You were radiant. I was exact. I slid into the back seat and let the door shut behind me. The ride home was quiet. I didn't check my phone in my apartment. I showered, washed away the spotlight, the applause, the pressure, the shape of her gaze. Then I sat on the edge of the bed and unlocked my screen again. Still there. Just 6 words. You looked amazing tonight. Not I'm sorry. Not I was wrong, just admiration. Wrapped in absence. I opened the message, paused, deleted it. Nothing sent back. Nothing held. I turned off the phone. I didn't need to say I'd won. I just needed to stop letting her write the last word. Asterisk. I sat on my couch with a cup of green tea cooling beside me, screen glowing in the dark. Jenna's name was still there at the top of my followers, in my story views, in old photos buried deep. Her comments were always the same. Clever, curated, coded. I tapped her profile. Still public. Still perfect. I hovered over the threads. Then tapped. Remove follower next. Unfollow and finally. Block. No fanfare. No message. No final word, just gone? Camila texted a minute later. Camila. Did you do it? Me. Yes. Camila. Feel anything? Me. Just clear. She replied with a heart. Nothing more. I opened my photo gallery, scrolled back through years of filtered smiles, birthday dinners, beach trips, mirror selfies we captioned with inside jokes. Deleted them, not out of anger, just disinterest. I wasn't preserving her version anymore. I wasn't her echo. My phone buzzed again. Unknown number. Hey, did I do something? I blocked it too. Then I stood, washed my cup, and turned off the lights. I didn't need to post about boundaries. I just needed to live within them. The apartment was quiet. Just the hum of the fridge and the soft creak of old wood beneath my feet. I moved past the hallway mirror without meaning to stop. But I did. I stood there, barefaced, hair pulled back. Nothing performative, no Jenna voice in my head whispering adjustments. Just me. I tilted my chin slightly, met my own gaze, and smiled. Not because I looked beautiful, not because I needed to, but because I recognized myself. This was the face that walked the runway, that stood still when challenged, that chose silence instead of a return shot. I stepped closer. "Hi," I whispered. The woman in the mirror didn't flinch. She belonged. My phone buzzed on the counter. I didn't move. Whatever it was, it could wait. I stayed there a minute longer, breathing, being, and then I turned away, not to escape, but because I no longer needed to check who I was. I already knew. The conference room was small but sunlit. 10 women, all different ages, different pasts. Same thread in their voices, tightness from being shaped too long by someone else's hands. I clicked the remote. The first slide lit up behind me. Rewrite, reclaim, reframe. "I'm Ella," I said. "This isn't about reinvention. It's about recovery." A woman in the second row raised her hand. Recovery from what? From dimming ourselves to keep peace. From editing our tone. From friendships that felt more like management contracts. Several heads nodded, another voice, quieter. "What? If you don't even know who you were before, you don't have to," I said. "You only have to know you're not there anymore." At break, a woman approached me, nervous, fidgeting. "Did someone do that to you?" "Yes." "Did they know?" "They do now." She smiled. "Feels good, doesn't it?" "It feels earned." Later, I stood by the window, sipping coffee. Camila called. "You're doing it." "Huh, I am." "Feels like a good ending." "No," I said. "It feels like a beginning." And it was. Because this time, I wasn't stepping into someone else's light. I was standing in my own. ***.